Hi, everyone. I'm really sorry. Here in Costa Rica, we have 1 hour behind Montreal, and I had the class scheduled for 2 p.m. in Montreal, but I forgot that I was 1 hour behind. So I just tried to make sure that the connection was right and everything was perfect. We do lose electricity power here pretty often, so don't worry if you lose me. I do have my cell phone, and it's going to take me 1 or 2 minutes to come back. And that's just life, you know. I mean, nothing is perfect, and it's all perfect at the same time. I mean, so many sessions I've been giving. Traveling to Bali for 5 years, I have a house there, and going back and forth from Montreal to Bali, Bali, Montreal. And now I'm switching my Bali to Costa Rica. I'm about to buy a beautiful land here just because I just feel that there's something for me here to continue on my journey. And it's been pretty beautiful the past month arriving in Costa Rica. I understand that many of you are going through the confinement. I had one of the worst years of my life, actually. Why? Because the pandemic situation actually had a huge impact on my level of anxiety, and it actually activated all traumas for me. And it's the same case for many of you, I'm sure. I am very sensitive to the collective. So if the collective lives in fear, then I'm very, very sensitive to that. And I've been struggling with anxiety for the past 12 years, following a trauma in my life, for those who don't know me very well. And what happened is that, well, let's go to the beginning. At the beginning, did you know that 70% of the American population lives in survival mode? If you didn't know that, and that's, forget about COVID, that's normal. 70% of the population, the American population, lives in survival mode. What is survival mode? It's having your sympathetic nervous system activated all the time. So no time for repair, no time for rest and repair. I mean, not much time, except when you sleep in a deep, deep sleep. And the problem with that is that, I mean, our survival mode is meant to serve for a short period of time. Unfortunately, since we live under stress all the time, we actually have this system activated most of our life, and it becomes our normality. The problem with that is that if we never go to a state of repair, then the organs need energy, the body needs repair, and actually never gets it. So when I went into a trauma in my life, when I went through trauma 12 years ago, I don't know if you hear my notification. I'm actually going to close this. Not sure why it's open in the first place. Sorry about that.
It's not coming through, Annie.
Okay, turning it off just in case. Excellent. So yeah, 12 years ago, I went through the loss of my first child when I was 6 months pregnant. And I caught a bacteria, a virus, and at that point in my life, it was pretty dangerous virus and bacteria, and I thought I was going to die, which actually put me in a state of shock What happens when you go into shock is that you freeze. And when you freeze, nothing is available. So I gave birth naturally, without really knowing what the hell I was going through and what was happening to me. I was just in a freeze mode. So unconsciously, my body chose not fight, not flight. It chose freeze, because that was the only thing I could do. Just not be there, be numb. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to think I could die with my baby. So I just freeze. Time just stopped. So unconsciously, that's what happened to me. I didn't understand any of what I'm talking to you about today. Of course, I got to study for the past 12 years after that trauma, because I was curious of, how do we deal with trauma? And I wish I had known all that I know now, because when you go through trauma, you actually need to express what's there. You need to either scream, run away, just whatever. Use that energy, that sympathetic arousal, to do something with it. So either run, scream, kick, whatever. I wish I could have done that at that point in my life. I just decided to go through my 17 days of hard medication and hospitalization, and then go back to work as if nothing ever happened to me. So unfortunately, the body never forgets. Fortunately, it's actually not unfortunate. It's actually great. So 3 months later, I started to suffer big time. Pain everywhere in the body, everywhere. All sorts of problems with my belly. So I had irritable bowel syndrome, and then I had fibromyalgia. I couldn't function right. I mean, the body was aching everywhere. 3 months later. And that's actually what started my journey. Why do we wait for something traumatic to happen in order to just, find solutions and learn how to deal with all of that, and then get to know ourselves and the body and soul better? I don't know. But for me, it was a blessing. So my son, the first child that I lost, was actually my blessing. I've been studying hard for the past 12 years. I never stopped studying. I keep studying. Breathwork was just one of the many studies that I've done. Why? Because I'm always looking for how, after seeing all the doctors, all the treatments that I could have done, being on medications for years for anxiety and stuff, why is it not working? What is wrong with me? Why my body is still aching, and why do I keep having these symptoms, and why am I still scared of a threat that doesn't exist? And so I went through many yoga certification, Hatha, Vinyasa, Kundalini. And then I've done my first breathwork certification with Alchemy of Breath. And as soon as I finished, I asked Anthony if I could become a trainer, his first trainer, because I couldn't keep it for myself. It was just tremendous. It was amazing. I need to share all these beautiful knowledge with the world. So I brought the training to Quebec, and then I've done 3 complete training certifications for students in Quebec with Alchemy of Breath. Then in the meantime, I did another certification with biodynamic breath and trauma release with Giten, which is now a really good friend and collaborator. And I continue studying somatic experiencing, heart math, Joe Dispenza, and name it. I just keep studying. That's my passion. I want to know more about how do we use all that power that we have inside to self-heal, not always depend on someone from the environment, a treatment, a new life, doctor, I mean, all these things are great, don't get me wrong. But if I have the power inside to heal, I want to know how, don't you? I think so. And so I've been noticing so many changes, so many, I would say, miracles inside myself, stuff that was happening, and using that power that inner power that we all have. We just don't know how to use it. And the more I start to understand how to use it, the more I started to see big miracles happening to me. So today I'm proud of telling you that I'm off medication, that I don't have pain anywhere, that I am filled with abundance, abundance, crazy abundance in all fields of my life. I don't take any of that for granted. The self-healing journey is still on, because I know that these little imprints are very tricky. So you have to keep on the work. You have to keep on working on yourself again and again and again, every single day. So every time I do an interview, people ask me, what's your best tip? You know, what would you say to people who meet you for the first time? And I would tell them, do the work every single day. Don't miss one day. Never miss one day. Do the work every single day. And that's what I do. I sit on my mat. I sit on my meditation cushion as soon as I wake up every morning for 1 hour. And then I co-create my journey, my day, my future with the divine consciousness. I validate the choice that I've made to be healthy and happy and filled with abundance and gratitude and love. You got to do the work. And another tip that I always give people is never get out of bed without feeling gratitude. So never, you can wake up in the morning not happy, like with some pain and just like not feeling great. Do not get up. Just stay in your bed until you feel gratitude. And it's going to start your whole day. Your whole day is going to change. So now I've been working on my body a lot with breathwork, with conscious movement, you know, like learning to get to know my body without the ego perspective. So I've been doing that for the past years. And now, today, I am more into using that freedom, that space inside my body to deeply affect my thought, my mind. And I want to guide you today in a beautiful session in which you're going to use breathwork. Yes, you do not have to use mouth breathing. And I'm going to explain to you why. First of all, many of you have been breathing for 20 something days or 19 days. We are on day 19. That's a lot of activation, okay? Plus, we are in a pandemic situation, which is a lot of activation. That's a lot of activation for the nervous system. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's beautiful. Activation is great to release all the charges inside the body, but it can also be too much. I don't want you to go into overwhelm, okay? Because when there's too much activation that the body cannot deal with, it just shuts down and go into overwhelm. And there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you can't, I mean, even if I ask you to do the work every day, you're just like, that's it, I'm done. Nothing is responding. It's just too much. So I've been working with nose breathing, connected nose breathing for many months now. You know why? Because nose breathing works on both nervous system. The sympathetic, so you're going to feel that arousal, but it also works on relaxation. So at the same time, you're going to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. So you get activation and then you get relaxation. And you know what? It might not be crazy like you used to, big release and stuff like that. But you know what? Maybe that's just what you need today. Just try it. Nose breathing today. Just try it. At least, I mean, if you didn't like it, I mean, it's an experience. But for me, today is not, the technique is not that important. So I'm going to guide you through a nice journey. So I'm going to ask you, there's not going to be any music. I don't use music anymore. I'm going to ask you to follow my words to deep, profound, deep breathing through the nose in a connected way. So no pause between the inhale and the exhale. Here's my little girl. Hey. And and just listen to my words and just let yourself be. That's it. Just go through the experience without having any, I can't find the word. What's the word, Stephanie, for des attentes, expectations? No expectations. You know, just go through an experience. And you know what? The more you experience life, the more you try different things, the more you build new paths in the brain. So maybe many of you are going to be like, oh, but I like my, mouth breathing, and then I'm used to this and I'm used to that. Just try something different today. Just try. And everything you try something new, you get out of routine. And getting out of routine is amazing because it makes you in an uncomfortable position. And only in this uncomfortable position, you can build and co-create new paths inside. So I keep, even if my mother was scared of everything. So I've been brought up being scared of every single thing. So for me, it's always been an effort to get out of my comfort zone. And you know what? I do it every single day now. I force myself to get out of routine just to make sure that I co-create with the divine consciousness, new synapses, new ways, new pathways. I want energy to just, flow everywhere in my body. And I want to open myself to what's wonderful. I mean, what other stuff could happen to you that's gonna, comment on dit surprendre, Sandra, sais-tu? Surprendre. That's gonna, things that you don't expect. Things that you don't expect. Let yourself be surprised by life. And that's getting out of the comfort zone every day, being uncomfortable, a little bit uncomfortable every day. Try something new for breakfast. Try to take another way to go bring your kids to school. That's just the way it is. And that's why I'm here in Costa Rica. I mean, in the middle of a COVID pandemic, I have 2 houses in Quebec. I have no idea what I'm going to do in my houses. Am I going to sell them? I think so. I'm buying a land here. I'm scared. There's something that's just pulling me here. And all these choices are super scary. And at the same time, I'm super excited. And I trust life. Life's got my back. Yeah. So enough talking. Make sure you sit in a comfortable position. You can sit on a chair, no problem. Or you can sit on a meditation cushion. And just make sure that you're comfortable and then your back is in straight position. And make sure that the position is comfortable because we're going to stay there for a half hour. Once you're sitting, you may close your eyes. And just take a little moment to feel. Feel your body as a whole. So I'm not going to ask you to go into a certain part right now. I'm just going to invite you to feel your body in a whole. And that's feeling every part at the same time. And very important, during all the session today, no judging, no attachment, and no reaction. The 3 principles of the Buddha. So just when I ask you to, or invite you to notice things, just notice with the neutral observer. Always neutral. Because you know what? Everything changes all the time. So just take the time to feel your body as a whole. And maybe taking the time to also notice which emotion is here right now. Maybe you already feel a little bit of activation. Maybe I've said something that activated you. I talked about trauma. I talked about losing a child. I talked about being afraid of death. I talked about many things. So maybe you're going to feel a little activation already. And that's okay. That's all right. Just take the time to notice what's there. Or maybe you're just going to feel related to me. You know, maybe there's some things that I've said that helped you linked to something in your life. Something might have resonated for you. No attachment, no judgment, no reaction. Being a neutral observer. And still feeling your body as a whole. If you're sitting on a chair, maybe you can start to feel the ground underneath your feet. And if you're sitting right on the floor, then just maybe take the time to feel the floor, the connection to the earth, which is supporting you right now. Mother Earth always got your back. So maybe just feel that connection, that support, eternal support. And breathe into that connection. And now slowly, very slowly, you can start counting to 5 when you inhale through the nose, and without any pause, you exhale to the count of 5. Just to start bringing that coherence. So we inhale on the count of 5 through the nose, and with no pause, no retention. You exhale right away and you count to 5. Our body is used to live into coherence. So it's very important that when you want to work on yourself, first of all, you have to bring yourself to coherence. And with breathwork, it's the best tool. You just bring yourself to inhale, count to 5, and exhale, count to 5 for a little while. just to teach your body how to go into coherence, into order. The body thinks that disorder, it's normality, which is totally wrong. So as a conscious being, it's our goal to teach the body. Coherence is just a state. It's a state, it's an inside state where your heart, it's not going crazy. Your heart is just going into beautiful path, fluid and flowy. And this type of breathing brings the whole body into coherence, which allows all your organs to function in a perfect way. So just by breathing and counting to 5 on the inhale and on the exhale is the beginning of coherence. But we're going to add up something that's going to enhance that coherent state. So while you're counting to 5, I'm going to ask you to bring your focus into your heart center. So you're breathing, counting to 5, inhaling and exhaling, and focusing in your heart area, which is right in the middle of your chest. That's where I want you to bring your focus. So breathing through your heart, with your heart, by your heart. Finding balance, inner balance. Teaching your body to find that balance at any time during the day, at any moment. And this is actually your natural state. You know, when you were born, you were breathing perfectly. Well, in most cases. And as soon as our needs are not met, as soon as there's something that puts us into survival mode, we lose that coherence. And I'm going to add a little something. So keep breathing in a very coherent way, still focusing into your heart center. Now I'm going to invite you to let some images come to you, but not any images. Images that symbolize gratitude or love or joy. Just let those images come into your heart, and then you keep breathing into that precious space, sacred space. And let yourself see these images, feel these beautiful images as if you were in it. For some of you, it might be a moment in your life. For some other, it could be the face of your child or the face of a loved one. Anything that makes you feel gratitude, love, compassion, any attributes of the heart. And just keep breathing into that beautiful state of coherence. Let your body feel this beautiful energy. Yeah, you're still breathing through the nose. No need for activation right now. Just searching for, aiming to find coherence. Wonderful. So making sure that you keep that beautiful state of order, inner order. We are now ready to work. So just keep on breathing, nose breathing in a connected way, so no retention between inhaling and exhaling. But try to keep that rhythm, except you don't need to count anymore. So just follow that rhythm. So your body has recorded that rhythm. So no need to count anymore. So deep breathing through the nose, and no pause between inhale and exhale. So you might already feel a sense of relaxation, and maybe some of you can even feel a sense of order. A sense of reception. We're ready to receive. Receptivity. And as we continue to breathe deeply, you can now bring your focus to your perineum. The first energy center, your first chakra. So the first chakra is actually all the lowest part of the body, even the legs. So bring your attention to your perineum, the end of your spine, your hips, your sex organs, and breathe into that space. Remember, always remember, where you bring your attention, you bring energy, healing energy right now. But it's the same thing. If you keep the whole day bringing your attention to negative thoughts, what do you think is going to happen during the day? Negative stuff. So right now, we want you to bring your attention to your first chakra, first energy center, your connection to Mother Earth. And bring good energy. Even bring light in this beautiful space. If some of you are familiar with chakras, you can also visualize the color red. And just breathe into that space. The first chakra is related to survival. And that's exactly where the fight or flight is happening. And today we're bringing beautiful light into that space. It's also where the center is also connected to matter. So there's energy, there's matter, our attachment to everything material. It's just interesting to know all these things. In order to be able to do the changes and take the right decisions for you. I could even say that all your conditioning comes from that specific place. The first chakra is dominant between the age of 0 to 7 years old. And that's where we learn everything from our caretakers. All their beliefs, even if they're not right. That's okay, because now we do have the choice to deprogram or unprogram and reprogram if we decide to work at it every single day. And I'm going to invite you now to visualize a symbol which would be related to your first chakra, your first energy center. So the symbol can be anything. Anything that's related to connection to the earth. Could also be related to survival. It could also just be a simple sphere, a red sphere. For me, every time I visualize a symbol, it's seeing a flower grow from the earth, from nothing, actually. So just let this beautiful image of your symbol appear in your first chakra. And continue to bring energy and bringing the breath in your perineum. Feel the connection with the center of the earth. And for me, the center of the earth is, I always see a huge crystal with so much energy that I can actually connect with my roots and take this beautiful energy and bring it up to my first energy center. Beautiful crystal in the middle of the earth. Very nourishing. And bringing that energy into your first center, waking up your first center where Kundalini energy resides. And then you just, maybe you're going to start feeling the need of moving. And that's okay. You can move your body in a very, very slow way. The more slow, the more consciousness. So spinal rotations or spinal flexes or anything else doesn't need to make sense. Just feel the energy of the first chakra. And keep your symbol alive. Breathe into it. Deep, connected breathing through the nose. You might start to feel some heat. Yeah, it's possible. Energy is moving. And that's where we're waking up that Kundalini energy in order to open up the way. So allow the energy to move up, but also keeping that connection to the earth in order for the energy to be able to go down again. And just being able to be free inside the central channel. So very slowly, maybe start feeling this energy of the first chakra move up to your belly. And again, you might feel the need to move a little bit more. And please do so. So your belly center is probably your most vulnerable place in your body. It's the center of emotions. And for women, it's also where we carry our babies. It's a very precious center. Bring your energy there. Breathe into your belly. Feel your belly. Feel the sensations inside your belly. And you might still feel that connection with the first chakra and the second chakra. So you're taking the energy from the earth, actually not taking, sharing. Sharing is the perfect word. So you're sharing the energy with Mother Earth, and then the energy comes in to your first energy center, and then go up into your belly. And your body is just accepting with joy and gratitude. For those who are familiar with the colors, you can also visualize the color orange, if it helps you in any way. And now you can invite your symbol to take place in your belly. What would be your symbol? A symbol related to your second energy center. And for me, I always like to share, I hope I'm not influencing too much, but it's just to give you an idea. So when you think about emotions or connection or sacred feminine, what do you see? And for some reason, I always see the little hand of my daughter taking my hand. And then I see the sea, the ocean with the sun. And I don't see my daughter, I just see a part of her arm and her little hand into mine. It's connection. And it's also related to our feminine connection. And for you, it can be something else. Just let the image come of your symbol. And at the beginning, it could be one thing, and then it might change. If the symbol is not right, it's going to change by itself. So once you find your symbol, just breathe into it. Deep connected breathing. Beautiful. Feel the energy in your belly now. And maybe you're going to start feeling that energy wanting to go up again. Take more space. Open and open and keep opening. And so allow this to happen. Feeling that energy go into your solar plexus now. So your upper belly. And bring the energy there. And breathe into this beautiful light. Your solar plexus is your center of power. Your inner fire. And the color is yellow. Just breathe into that center now. Solar plexus, third chakra. In this specific place, lots of healing is happening. The center is actually the best center to work with. If you want to work with self-healing, you need to start working on your solar plexus. Step into your power. Feel the energy in your solar plexus now. How does it feel? You feel that power. Do you feel that fire? Breathe into it. And then see what's appearing in this specific place. What do you see? Do you see like a sun, a big sun, maybe a star? What do you see? Which symbol appears to you? Sometimes I see a crystal ball. And then I see this ball full of light. But other times I see a key, a very bright key. Feeling that this is the place where I can unlock so many things, especially my healing powers. What do you see? And start breathing into that symbol, bringing more and more energy there. Bringing more and more light, connection. And using your breath so all this light can take so much space. Using the breath to open and open. And you're going to start feeling that connection, wanting to go up. So the solar plexus always wants to connect with the heart energy, because the true healing works with those two, inner power and eternal love, unconditional love and gratitude. So if you feel that energy, that light wanting to go up, just let it be. Connect to your heart, just as you did when we first started the session, when we went into coherence and order. Let the energy from the solar plexus come up to the heart center. And see this beautiful green light. Feel so much energy coming from the solar plexus, wanting to connect with love and compassion. Let your heart open. And we're not going to go more higher in the superior chakras, because that's all we need for today. We just need to connect the base with the belly. Then the third chakra, inner power, with the heart. That's all you need for now. In order to bring order, coherence, and positive change, reprogramming, and self-healing. Breathe into your heart. And let yourself maybe see those images that you saw at the beginning. Those beautiful images that make you feel true gratitude, true love, compassion, joy. And bring that beautiful energy in all your body. Let your body feel as a whole the energy of the heart. Breathe into it. Connect more and more. Let yourself be in that moment, that specific image, that moment. Even if this images can come, they can also come from your future. But you know what? When you're able to feel your future with all your cell, even if it's a future that you're manifesting, that's, it's truly connected to your eternal present moment. So let yourself feel these images, which brings you love, gratitude, compassion, and joy. Let yourself feel this precious moment as if you are in it, right here, right now. The body doesn't make the difference between present, past, future. So whatever you're feeling right now is real. Whatever images you're seeing right now, you're in it. Those are real. Let yourself feel deeply. And slowly, try to connect with the frequency of these images. The frequency always comes from the magnetic field, the whole, the space. Because once you connect truly to the feeling of these images, as if you were in it, right here, right now, it's already happening. So the body doesn't make the difference. For the body, it's happening right now. So it goes automatically into repair. Love is repair. Compassion is repair. Joy is repair. That's just what we need. Dive into this moment, which is happening right here, right now, and feel this beautiful energy surrounding you. And this beautiful connection to the field of all possibilities. They're all there. Just have to connect with the one you truly want. Once you connect, just bring that to you. Just bring it to you, that possibility. See the possibility coming through the field. And in your heart. The heart is your connection to everything. We think that we're separated, but we are whole. We're connected to everything. Space, Earth, nature, other human beings. Separation is an illusion. And right now, when you dive into those images, this present moment that is so strong, filled with love and gratitude, you are connected to everything. You are no more separated from anything. And you can bring your hands to your heart. Taking the time to feel this new self. Taking the time to thank your body, your soul, life, and this precious moment. And before you open your eyes, make sure to be ready to see the world differently, with different eyes. This is the work that I'm talking about. This is the work you should be doing every day. Just heart connection, coherence, bringing yourself into a moment of joy, of love, of unconditional love. Bring it to your eternal present moment every single day. You have the choice. You can decide. You can co-create your future with divine consciousness if you work at it every single day. Are you ready to open your eyes and see the world a little bit differently? Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect and try something different, maybe. Try something different. No matter what happened today, it's just an experience. It's just a perfect moment to learn a little bit more about yourself. And go on and see life maybe differently, knowing that you have the power inside to do anything, everything that you want, to self-heal, to connect, to share love. And it all starts by ourselves. So the work we do on ourselves impacts everyone else. Yeah. And that's what everyone needs to do right now, especially right now. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to know more about what we do, our training is in French right now. I have so much demand for English training, but the only problem right now is that we have 100 teachers per year now. So it's it's a bit overwhelming. So I'm just trying to find the right time to translate everything and do 2 trainings, so 1 in English. So it's manifesting. But my website is annielandroit.com, and you can find everything that. There's an English, little bit in English space where you can find all the details about my trainings and what I do. So it was an honor, as usual. I love these sessions, especially free sessions. My karma. I've been teaching for 4 years now every Sunday. free sessions, and it's actually my favorite sessions. So again, you made my day. Beautiful beings. So much love for you all.